This is the She Eagle Ministries. God bless you for listening, for subscribing, and for sharing. Today's topic is do not look far away for your answers. The God we serve is not a one-way God. He operates in diverse ways. He may take you through a journey either short or long. His promises are not for free. You must earn it. Jesus, being the rightful owner of his Father's inheritance, had to go through many trials on earth, and at a point on the cross, he asked his Father why he had forsaken him. That alone should tell you the gravity of what he went through. It was after he had gone through all this painful life journey before he is now seated at the right hand of God. Angels and authorities and powers have been made subject to him, according to 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 22. God specifically said that he would give Abraham a son by Sarah, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be from her. But many years passed by, and there was no cry of a baby. Abraham kept on trusting and believing in God. Finally, as humans, they both thought in their hearts and minds that maybe the promise of having a son won't be possible. That was the reason why Sarah persuaded his husband, and he also fell in it. He fell for it and had a son with Hagar, Sarah's maidservant. God was still insisting that he would bless Abraham and Sarah with a son, and he would establish his covenant with him. Abraham laughed in disbelief because he was age 100 and Sarah, the wife, was 90. When you read Genesis chapter 17 verse 15 going, you will see the full story. Upon several waiting on God, and finally when God decided to give him and Sarah a son, it was even through a test. What if Abraham had failed the test? What could have happened to the promise? But see, when you read Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 12, it says, "Then the Lord said to me, you have seen well, for I am actively watching over my words to fulfill it." This verse should be able to comfort you if truly it is God who has given you a promise. He will actively watch over to make sure it comes to pass. This also means that you should also be in line with God by still trusting and believing in him. Upon all the delays, Abraham was still in good standing with God. All his 5 senses were actively working and tuned to God. Finally, when his time was due for him to become the father of many nations, his 5 senses prompted him to do good to the 3 men who were on their way to Sodom and Gomorrah. After inviting them to his house, gave them food to eat, water to wash their feet, and a place to rest under a tree, before a prophetic word came out of them to Abraham. When you read Genesis chapter 18 verse 1 going, that a year by this time your wife Sarah would be with a son. Lo and behold, the long-awaited covenant son came to pass. We should know that not all requests are answered through prayers. One has to be spiritually smart and inclined to know the type to use to attract God's attention. When you read 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 8 to 17, it speaks about a wealthy woman who urged Elisha the prophet to stop by her house to eat some food anytime he passes that way, and also convinced her husband that they should let out one room, put a bed, chair, table, and a lamp for the man of God to rest and continued his journey the next day. She did all this for the man of God because she knew in her heart that Prophet Elisha is a holy and a genuine man of God. You see, her 5 senses were active to discern to know who a good man of God was and the kind of help she could give to him to aid his God-given assignment on earth. She decided to feed him and gave him a resting place anytime he was done with his ministration and returning home. In the life of the Shunammite woman, she had all that a woman needs in her life except one thing. The Bible says she and the husband had no child. When you read 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 11 and 12, it says, one day Prophet Elisha came there, and he turned into the chamber and rested. And he said to Gehazi, his servant, call the Shunammite woman. When he had called her, she stood before him. And he said to him, say to her, see, you have taken all this trouble for us. What is to be done for you? Wow. Now hear this. Elisha, the prophet, always passed in front of the woman's house. God did not reveal anything to Elisha by letting him know that the house needs the cry of a baby until the woman and her husband let out something to the prophet. Elisha said, see, you have taken all this trouble for us by getting me and my servant food to eat, water to bath, and a room to rest. Now tell me, what is to be done for you? It is good to be hospitable. Yeah, it is good. Sometimes the answers to our prayers are right in front or around us. Some people have been tremendously blessed just to be a blessing to others. Others too, with the little they have, can still be a blessing to others. Do not let the world economy restrain you from helping others. Let your discernment spirit guide you to know who truly needs help. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 17 says, he who has pity on the poor lends to the Lord, and he will pay back when what he has given. My dear listener, whatever you give out to the poor or someone in need, you have loaned it to God, and the God I serve will pay you back in due course. This is the She Eagle Ministries. God bless you for listening, for subscribing, and for sharing. Peace. Shalom.